All right, boys. The Panthers, they won their first series for the first time in 26 years. Last time they won the 1996 Eastern Conference Finals. So they beat the Caps in OT 4-3 in Game 6. We talked about it last episode, Biz, the way this series swung. Capitals are inches from going up 3-1. Boom, swings the other way. We got to stroke off Carter Verhaeghe. This kid is unbelievable.
Carl.
He scored the game-winning goal in each of the last 3 games. 2 of them came in overtime. 12 points, 6 goals, both new series records. Claude Giroux showed why he was the big catch at the deadline this year. 3 goals, 4 assists. Not only that, very timely scoring.
And sick goals already, like highlight reel.
Giroux-style goals. I know I just said Biz, but I don't know if you wanted to.
No, I'm sorry. I cut you off. But before we pump up the Florida Panthers tires, I want to shout out TJ Oshie because if you go back, and I don't know if anyone saw this live or had the game tape, but go look. When Barkov scores late in the third period in Game 6 to take the lead, or I don't know if it was late in the third period, whenever it was, the camera naturally spans right over to Washington's bench. TJ Oshie's in the middle of the bench. He literally, this must have been 2 seconds after the goal. He's going like this. Nope. Like, this is not over. Every guy's kind of sulking a little pissed off. He's sitting there shaking his head. And what happens? He fucking ties it up with a Warrior goal in front. So Washington season ended. It's unfortunate. They played way better than I thought they would have. But I just wanted to shout out our buddy. And, he came on the pod, and he's kind of always been that guy that refuses to give in to anything. And TJ Oshie is pretty impressive to see that response on the bench immediately after a goal and then to go out and tie it. So I did want to mention that. I'd written it down.
I wrote them off before playoffs even started.
Me too.
I wasn't happy about the goaltending situation. I would say it ended up playing a bit of a factor down the stretch. I think we can all agree on that. They didn't get the big saves when they needed them. Buddy, that empty netter that Hathaway went for completely changed the series. And I know that I argued on the TNT broadcast would talk about it. Wayne Gretzky said the exact same thing. He says, you are a bozo if you go for the empty netter before you hit the red line. He said, I don't know how many empty netters in his entire career Wayne Gretzky had. He said, he goes, I think I might have scored 1 from behind the red line. And he said, if I did, we were up more than 1. So that changed the series. And the comeback Cats, I said that they couldn't be coming back in games like they did during the regular season. Boy, was I wrong. Just about everything else other than Calgary in the first round, for crying out loud. And they go down 3-0 in game 5, and then they storm from behind. Carl Verhaeghe, before the end of the first round, I had him leader in the clubhouse for the Conn Smythe. He has been their spark plug. He wasn't even supposed to play Game 7 because he got hurt in practice, I guess. I don't know if he stepped on a puck or whatever type of fluke accident happened, because these practices before going.
Oh, it's a cakewalk.
It's a fucking walkthrough. I'm surprised they're not wearing their tracksuitos. That's how easy these practices are. So I don't know what happened to him, but he ended up playing. He once again had another great game in Game 6. I was really happy that Giroux came around because I didn't think he was the strongest in the first couple games of the series. And I was really concerned for this Florida team, but they found a way to get the job done. What else do I need to talk about as far as Washington's concerned?
The lack of Tom Wilson, maybe.
Yeah, that really hurt. But I thought that Mantha and Oshie elevated their game big time in his absence. I kind of get the same feeling that I do for Pittsburgh that I do for Washington, where it's like, where do you go from here? That core group's not getting any younger. I don't know if they have necessarily many prospects in the pipeline. So, was this their last kick at the can? Why didn't they address goaltending to try to give themselves at least a chance for this last kick at the can? So we'll see where they're going. But Florida, they look awesome. I kind of look at it like Tampa Bay, where they, when they lost out in the first round and got swept by Columbus, they just needed to get over that mental hurdle. Well, I think they have, and I think they're going to roll on now.
Wow.
I think they're going to roll. I think they're going to beat Tampa Bay in 5 games.
Oh, buddy,
what do you mean with no point?
Andre Vasilevsky.
I don't fucking care, buddy. They got no point. Okay. They got no point. Probably. They got Kucherov, who looks banged up. They look exhausted. as much as I want to give credit to Tampa Bay for that gutsy performance, 25 blocks in Game 7. Listen, they're the champs. Heart of a lion. I get it. But I think that they're going against a wagon in Florida who's gotten over the mental hurdle, who's now going to just pepper them with shots. And I don't care how good Vasilevsky is. He ain't good enough to win them this next round against the Florida Panthers. Not a chicken dick's chance in hell that the Tampa Bay Lightning advance. All credit is due to Tampa for, again, winning a series against a better Toronto Maple Leafs team. They rode Vasilevsky. They will not be able to do it against one of the best offensive teams we've seen in the last decade. Sorry.
First, Merles.
Biz, you feel this strongly about Florida and our boy Carl Verhaeghe? You should get on a flight to Ontario right now. Log into your ScoreBet app. Conn Smythe plus 2,800.
Oh,
Carl Verhaeghe. He's second in points in the scoring already.
He's got 12 points in the 6 games.
That is ridiculous odds.
Merles, how much did you have on Domingue for Conn Smythe?
Oh, jeez. He wasn't even offered.
Boys. Yeah, Bobrovsky.
That'd be like Leicester City odds.
No, everything Biz said, and RA said it, like Tampa is tenderized to be beat in the second round. And if Point doesn't play at all, they are in one. But as I said last year when I picked Tampa to win the Cup, as I said this year in the first round, I'm not picking against them. I'm not doing it. They could be without Kucherov, fucking Hedman, and Point and play the Avs in the Cup final. I'm not doing it. They have what might go down as the greatest goaltender of all time in between the pipes, who in the playoffs just so happens to play better than anyone else. So it all looks like it's Florida's opportunity to really make the step to the Eastern Conference final. But Bobrovsky wasn't exactly money that first round, dude.
Yeah, like I had in the notes. Wait, sorry to cut you off. Versus the Caps, I mean, Bob, he was better than the other guy, but he wasn't outstanding at all. And now you're going head to head versus Vasilevsky. He's going to have to be immensely better. And even if they go to Spencer Knight, he's going to have to be immensely better too if they're going to beat Tampa, no matter how banged up they are.
And let me read you guys something.
Hey, while you're finding it, I don't even know how I didn't stroke off Johnny Hockey. I'm going to be binge watching Friends because of him. Ross is now my
just the Ross
favorite
episodes.
character. He completely saved my bacon.
Well,
Thank you, Johnny Hockey. I love you, buddy.
All these Game 7s, man, there's a lot of stroking off. We got to spread around a little bit. So,
well, there's a lot of talk of this Game 6 and 7s is all part of a big master plan by the Players Union to cut out that escrow that Biz was touched on earlier.
Well, I believe it in that Rangers series. It was frauds.
Meanwhile, the owners are like, good one, guys. Yeah, we're going to fucking stiff his again like we always do. Also, another tool, Ovechkin, man, he's definitely dinged up out there. He just didn't look himself out there at all, Biz, huh?
Ovi?
Yeah, did you think? I know he had one goal. I don't know. I just didn't think he was as dominant as we've seen in past playoffs. I don't know. You didn't think so?
I just think that they weren't touching the puck as much in the second half of that series just because Florida had turned it on.
Okay.
I thought and another thing too, RA, I think that their strategy going into that one was just play a lot more defensive minded. And they had to try to do that in order to win. And it was working, buddy. It was working.
Yeah, true.
Look at this series. Game 4, they had it signed, sealed, and delivered, and even in Game 5 when they were up 3-0. So I don't know. They altered their game to try to beat a team who really drove their offense to the neutral zone, and sitting back sometimes you're just not getting your typical touches. And another thing too is they're getting older. Like same with Backstrom. He's not his old dominant self. He still can make those great plays, but that's why I compared Washington, and they're probably even farther along in the sense of they're just really washed up more so than Pittsburgh. Like Pittsburgh at least looked like they dominated the Rangers. They outshot them drastically. They outchanced them drastically. The only thing the Rangers did was take advantage of their opportunities, those bums.
In 2003, the Lightning lost in the second round to the New Jersey Devils, who went on to win the Stanley Cup. Since then, in the second round, Tampa Bay Lightning. 2004, sweep the Canadiens. 2011, sweep the President's Trophy Caps. 2015, 4-2 over the Canadiens. 16, 4-1 over the Islanders. 18, 4-1 over the Bruins. 20, 4-1 over the Bruins. 21, 4-1 over the Canes. They don't lose in the second round.
How much you
They
want
don't
bet?
fucking lose. So Anyone who thinks that because it was a really tough series against Toronto and that Point's looking banged up, don't be so sure of yourself that the Panthers are going to beat the Tampa Bay.
How much you want to bet?
Crazy.
And do you want odds? How much you want to put a little wager on it, Mr. Whitney?
What's the Barstool Sports book odds in the series?
Florida Barstool Sports book right here. You can read it on my sweatshirt. Florida minus 155, Tampa Bay plus 125.
Yeah. Two-time defending Cup champs at a plus price. That's it's tough to say no to, man. I might be on them as well. Boys, the last time the Cats won a series, AOL was the number one most visited website in the world. Mission Impossible was number one at the box office, and The Crossroads by Bone Thugs and Harmony was the number one song on Billboard. I was like, when I was writing that down, I'm like, who's going to be the first one to sing Crossroads when I rattle that one?
How about this, Whit? If Florida wins, you give me $500. If Tampa wins, I'll give you $600.
No, I would. That's why wouldn't I just bet it at the Barstool Sports book? Not a math guy.
I don't know, because you were just rifling off all these useless stats like a buffoon.
Oh, useless stats that they haven't lost in the second round in 20 years.
I'll give you $650.
What would my odds be on the Barstool Sportsbook, boys? Like $500 would win me
$625.
Oh, I'll take the $650.
Why wouldn't you just take the $600 then? It's $25.
Well, actually, you would have to risk way more to win $500. That's what is confusing me, correct?
Hey, have you guys ever seen a millionaire, a multi-millionaire be such a pussy about gambling his buddy on a podcast?
Hey, guys, have you ever seen an NHL analyst on national TV not be able to pick one fucking game right?
I got Calgary right.
Oh, shit.
You fucker, and they're going to beat your left ear off, you dummy.